My name's David. I live in San Ramon. I work for Cintas. It's a laundry company, and I'm a district manager for them. And we have been together for, I think, about a year and a half now. It's about a good year and 6 months.
Okay, my name is Karen. I live in San Ramon with my husband, very close for my husband. I don't work in this moment. I only study. I study cosmetology. Oh yeah, I have my daughter. I have one daughter that she's 11 years old. I'm from Colombia. I stayed here for 3 years ago. That's it.
We actually met at my last job. I was a store manager for a company called Sprouts Farmers Market, and she would come in there all the time. She lived right down the street. This was down in San Jose, and she would come in all the time, whether it was just her shopping or her and her daughter and her mother, and we just started talking, and obviously there's a little bit of a language barrier here, but we just started talking. I started trying to learn as much Spanish as I could, just to say little funny things to her and just try to strike up a conversation. She would always come back with something in Spanish, and I'd have to look it up. So it helped me learn a little bit more and more. But is in a grocery store that I was working at.
That story is very funny, but in this moment, I speak little English, but in this moment, I don't speak nothing. Only is hello, bye, thank you, and can you help me, please? I work in this moment in one for delivery, in one app. This is Instacart. I make the groceries for the people, but that store is very complicated sometimes, and I can find maybe the barrier. I say I can scan that. He say, I no, that is no. He say, I help you. I say okay, but in the first moment he don't like. No, I think I have in my mind that man is maybe have your family, your daughter, your child, your wife. When I say okay, it's very confused. He stay every time very close for me when I make my deliveries. I say it's confused that, but in that moment I say nah, I don't know. That man is. My mom say me, hey, that man every time see you, Karen, see you. Ay, mom, you are kidding me? No, really? Nah. I say no. He does maybe love it for you, mom. I need other stepfather. Change my stepfather, but every time is a joke for my mom.
She asked me one time, do you have any kids? Are you married? And I said, no, I like sleep.
No, he say, no, my sister take the child for me. My sister have 5 childs. I say, really? Yeah. Really, you don't want babies? No, thank you. No, thank you. Hi, baby, sorry for the change.
It's okay.
But every time, my excuse for stay very close for her, I say, sorry, I can find this. I found that item every time, but I say, help me.
Just an excuse to talk to me. I understand.
But he say every time, go with Google Translate, ¿necesitas ayuda?
Do you need help?
Yeah, I know. Ooh.
Go ahead.
You first. Finish that.
So our first date, it was. I don't remember how I asked her, but I know it was at the store. She was shopping, and I was like, "You want to go do something? You want to go get something to eat after I get off? What time are you going home?" And I think it was just like, "Okay." got her number, and text her when I was off. Like I said, she lived really close to where I was working, so went to her house and actually picked up her and her daughter, and we went and got not Buffalo Wild Wings, the other one.
No, it's Wingstop.
Wingstop. We went to Wingstop because chicken wings, the little buffalo wings, are her daughter's favorite food. Like, you ever ask her what she wants to eat, and it's either Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings. So went over there, just ate a quick meal, and then went back, dropped her daughter off with her parents, and we went out to another place called Mr. Mojito's down in San Jose. And a few drinks, a few dances.
You kiss me.
Stole a little kiss.
But it's other history funny. Every time when I say clothes for me in the store, he say, "Oh, when do you have time for we go with friends, other managers?" I say, in this moment, I say, "Sorry, I can't. My stepfather take roles in home." He say, "Do you have friends? Okay, stay first your friends in home. Do you wanna? I need. What is your friends? How old? What is the work?" Yeah, my stepfather is Mexican. Is very strong for the roles. It's very different for my father. No, my father is very relaxing man. But he say 3 times different occasion. Yeah, different time he say me, we go that, we go for the golf, we go. I say, no, sorry, I don't have time. I don't have time. But the last moment in our first date is that he say, we go. I say, okay, I'm hungry now. But I told first with my stepfather and my mom. My mom helped me for my stepfather. I say, okay. It's very confused. And I say, okay, my mom say, you want to go? Okay, take your daughter and go. You don't go alone with that man. Okay, mommy. And we go for the Wingstop that day. And when we finished our food, do you remember my boss?
No.
I say, sorry, my boss. I stay in shock in this moment. I say, we go for my coffee. I have one of the bottoms.
The button broke?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that button is in the window, en la ventana del carro de él, the window of his car. Yeah, your car. I say, oh my God, I broke this. But I watch, I say, I know. No. I don't pay nothing. And we go for home. After this, we go for the Mr. Mojitos. It's very close for the is it San Jose? It's very close for my home. It's 3 miles, no?
Yeah, it's just down the street.
Yeah. And we go, we dancing. He kissed me the first. And I say, after this, I say for 3 days, 4 days. Okay, what's up? You and me, what? You say, I don't know.
She moves very fast.
It's very, very funny, the history.
Well, she had been asking to get married, and probably after about 6, maybe 8 months together. Like, I know it's been a dream of hers for a long time, and the conversation came up, pretty, I guess, early on. I don't know if that's early or not. I guess it's all relative, but we had gone out with her family. Where'd we go? Do you remember where we went? Oh, actually, no, I do remember where we went. We went to a restaurant down in San Jose, and it was my birthday, actually. And went down to a restaurant in San Jose. I had a couple friends come over and meet us over there. I don't remember the name, but there was some of her friends came, some of my friends came, and then her family showed up as well. And so there's probably a good dozen of us down there, and again, drinking, a little bit of dancing, food, celebration, and we ended up going home that night. And she was very honest. She's like, I don't know why you don't want to get married, or we haven't set a date or proposed. And like she said, odds, weird story, but she goes in their bathroom. I grab her daughter. I say, hey, could you help me out? Could you film this? And I'm gonna propose to your mother right now. I want nothing more than for her to be happy. So, I know it's not one of those dream proposals, but it was just in the hallway of our house. And she comes into the room, and I got down on one knee with her daughter behind me filming, and I asked her to marry me. She might remember it a little differently or a little more awkwardly.
No. I have
You were raised.
my father and my stepmother get married very, very. Maybe she has 18 years, and my father is 6 years more old than the women.
They got very, very young.
Yeah, very young. And the women, every time we have good relation with my sisters, and she say, I want when you, my daughters, stay very more old. Yeah, more old. I want all of it stay married. Your father and me, we stay married. Okay, I am other daughter for the other mom, no, but every time I have this in my mind, I want married. I have my daughter very young, but this man don't want respond for my daughter. I say I don't want another child outside the marriage. I want my family, and my daughter have one family. It's my dream. I don't want that. I born in one family is not married, but my stepmother say me every time, daughter, honey. She say me every time, honey, once when do you stay more old? Do you take your family, your very good husband? When do you find that person? Do you sense that? When I watch and I live with that, I say, I want marry. I say every time, but he say, when we have 1 year, I say, it's really, every time I made our breakfast, lunch, dinner, our home is very clean every time. I say, baby, do you tired? I make massage. He say me, scratch my back every time. And I say, it's really, don't say we married.
Bringing a I guess established mother and daughter into your life with a 10-year-old, now 11, definitely has some challenges, but there's a lot of good parts to that too. I mean, we essentially have our small family in our home now. Before that, I mean, I'm 40 years old. I've had relationships in the past, but I've never really lived with anybody and a child and a daughter. But I love kids. They're great. They're always learning. I try to give the best direction, best advice I can. But also coming in as somebody who, especially in the beginning, isn't seen as that type of person or father figure. You got to navigate it, and you got to navigate it slowly. You really have to put a lot of thought into, obviously living alone versus living with two other people and a daughter wasn't an easy transition, but it was, again, my house has life now, I guess I would say. There's, I would come home, just, do my thing, pretty routine. And now it's, there's a lot more going on. We got, school, we got friends' houses that we have to go to, or them coming over. We have her going to school, appointments. It just brought life to the house. And I think I told her that before. Like, before she asked me one time, like, why do you like living together? And I'm like, my house was just a house, and now it feels like it's more of a home. After a few months of proposing to her, and we're talking about all our plans, and we're talking about our more of our backgrounds. We're still learning about each other, which will be a constant thing that goes on. She's got real estate in Colombia, and she's got family, and her inheritance are in Colombia. I brought up the prenup just knowing that, we're getting married here, and that involves, what we have here. So I opened up the conversation knowing that she wanted to get married, and she wants to get married, I guess her timeline's a little bit quicker, because she'd love to go visit her family, and she'd love to go back to Colombia, and I want to travel too with her. And she has what's called asylum here, but it keeps her within the United States, and that just opens up so many doors to us if we get married. But at the same time, again, I'm 40 years old. I've worked many years, started when I was 16. So I've had, again, relationships before, and never the idea of marriage never crossed my mind. And now that it did, I just feel like I'm established, and she's established in another country. So I just thought it would be the best way to, one, open up the conversation about finances a little bit more and be more transparent with each other. And two, just, kind of, again, just more transparency in the relationship.
Find that.
Yeah, I found it. I was searching the web and looking for options, and I started contacting lawyers who wanted anywhere between, $4,000 and $12,000, and said it would take many months of preparation and work and in-person appointments, and had heard like advertisements about online, you can do your will online now, you can, any of that. So I'm like, there's got to be a company out there that does this, and I don't think you guys are alone in the space of HelloPrenup, but after looking at it and seeing all the reviews, and there's Reddit forums with you guys, with reviews about you guys, and just how people are comparing, like, everybody holds you guys to it seems like the gold standard of the industry. And once you start looking at what is offered, I didn't even realize the timeline would be as quick as it was. You talking, I think, maybe 3 weeks total, and we just got our notice that the prenup is ready for notarization yesterday. Or I'm sorry, this morning. The lawyer signed yesterday, and it's just like the process is so quick and easy, and everything's in there that you want. HelloPrenup offered lawyers, and we needed individual representation, and it really went off without a hitch, because her side of the agreement and my side of the agreement are kind of separate until they intertwine in that attorney relationship phase of it. And it really helped to have them there and have them walk you through it. I mean, I had a lot of individual questions for myself, and she had questions for herself, and the attorneys that were offered, one of them spoke Spanish and Spanish and English, which really helped in the transition. We utilize that service to its fullest, it feels like. So we utilized the attorney services in order to help the translation process of the prenup. We went through it together, and honestly, a lot of it was Google translating the lines before we hit the attorney phase. We took a look at it together, and we would go down line by line, like what does each question mean, and the web browser actually will just turn on a translation for you, and she could see what the questions were and what it was asking, and then she utilized the lawyer in order to clarify any questions and make additions or changes that she wanted to.
No, that process, I like it with my lawyer is pretty good. She say me, your future husband should die, he wants that. I say, okay, but it's very good. She has time every time for me. She write me first and talk, and no, I like it.
And the lawyers that you guys use, I was more worried about, they set up an hour appointment with you, and I was more worried, like, I've dealt with lawyers for other stuff, and it's like, when that hour's up, we're done. Like, I was more worried that they wouldn't be involved and it would feel more just contractual, like just, we need to get this done, we need to get through it. But the lawyers you guys use, from what she told me and from my experience, it seemed like they really cared, and it wasn't about the time, it was about getting it right. So my advice for couples going through this that need some type of translation or some level of just the language barrier is to start the conversation early, leave yourself enough time in order to be thorough with the process. That was one of the harder parts for us, because she's going to school 10 hours a day. I'm working 12 hours a day. It's like, we need to set aside time so we can go through this and talk about it together, because it's a team effort here. And definitely make sure you get a lawyer with the native language to do that next thorough step, so your partner understands, because it's super important that everybody's on the same page going into it.
Me gustó harto esta HelloPrenup, me encantó, la verdad. El consejo es siempre tengan las cosas claras con su pareja antes de tomar la decisión del prenup, pero es muy bueno porque ahí te deja claro la persona con qué intenciones viene, si viene a formar algo contigo, si no viene a formar algo contigo, porque ahí se toman las decisiones si uno quiere crear dinero en conjunto o por separado, o... Eso es bueno, la verdad realmente es bueno para saber con quién estás. O sea, si la persona está contigo por amor, está renunciando a todo literalmente antes de... Cuando él me dijo esto, en el primer momento yo me enojé, pero yo llamé a mi mamá enojada, le dije, hey mami, él está dudando del amor que yo tengo, que me dijo, no hija, hey, stop, para. Me dijo, entiende que yo haría lo mismo por ti porque yo también tengo una cantidad de dinero suficiente que está a nombre tuyo y de tu hermano. Entonces, yo también haría lo mismo, yo también sería, si yo fuera la mamá de él, también lo pondría a hacer lo mismo. Dijo, y es bueno, ya lo que ustedes creen de aquí para adelante es en familia. Y ahí se entienden si es realmente el amor es, o sea, si están por amor o si están por interés con uno también. O sea, la verdad lo súper recomiendo, me encanta y nada, pues ahí para adelante iniciar de cero, sí, en conjunto.
The experience using HelloPrenup and moving through the questionnaire it made it easy. It made it, it wasn't in the legalese language that you actually see get put into the agreement itself. So it made it a lot easier to understand what it was asking you. And it took a little while. You're reflecting on some of those questions and thinking about, okay, is this what I want? Is she going to agree? Are we going to, be on the same page here? But it actually made it really easy to move through the part or the piece of putting it all together. And then after that, you get to the end, you say, okay, this looks pretty good to me. Let's book a lawyer. And the lawyer was available, I think maybe it was 3 or 4 days later. Gave lots of options of times and days. So booking the lawyer was not a problem. And the lawyer taking you through the process and going back through the questions. I actually had a notebook that I had written out a bunch of my own questions, one of them being, how will this affect the immigration portion of what we're looking at too? Like, I want to make sure that, we know that the marriage and the proposal and everything is about love and wanting to have a family together and move forward. But you also want the legal side of that and what that looks like. So the lawyer was great about answering what she could and then referring us to, I think, another Julia, in order to answer some of those other questions that we may have. But working through the whole process, again, it seems like it made it as simple as you could possibly make a prenup, but also inclusive of everything. Going through the process and the negotiations, there were some exciting moments between us. Nothing that we weren't anticipating, I think, coming up. It does get, you have to talk through some things and make sure, again, you're on the same page, especially after you've talked to the lawyer about it, after she talked to her lawyer about it. It's like, okay, where do we want to land on? And there were only really, I think, 1 or 2 topics in there that we really had to sit down and figure out where we were both at and make sure that we had in the agreement what we wanted in there. A prenup doesn't mean you're going to get divorced. A prenup just, it allowed me to be transparent with my assets and my standings, and it opened up the conversation, the financial conversation, something that's super important in a relationship, in a marriage. I think it allowed me to be a lot more transparent than I guess I naturally would be. And it allowed us to walk through, everything involved in the marriage when you're signing or when you're getting blessed into that marriage. So I think it just opens up the transparency more. It doesn't mean we don't foresee divorce at all. That wasn't the theme behind getting a prenup, but it allowed us to talk about the future, talk about where we're at, and really just kind of set us up for success. A couple that says, I don't have enough money, or I'm not worried about it. I mean, there's more to a prenup than just the financial aspect of it. You're looking at many more factors in there. I mean, and again, it opens the conversation to things like children, spousal support, your current assets. You might actually have more than you think. I mean, and also, like, I wasn't even thinking about it, but family inheritance. She's gonna have one, I'll have one, and it makes you think a little bit more about what's involved in a future that you're planning on forever with somebody. I'd say at least go through the process. You're looking at many years ahead of you, and if you're questioning yes or no, I mean, it's worth a little bit of time invested and money invested in going through the process. They may not need everything I needed. They may not need everything the next couple needs, but you actually get to go through a form without a lawyer necessarily and really think about what that future looks like, and just not even prepare for any possibility, but like think about it and start a conversation about it. You guys made it super easy. Again, I probably spent a few weeks researching and looking at stuff. I'm a nerd when it comes to, I mean, I'll look at Yelp before we go out to eat and look at review. I mean, I'll look everywhere, and I'll look for reviews and personal, stories about using services. And something as important as this, I took a long time, and it took a long process in order to decide on who to go with. Contacting lawyers that wanted, again, months to do this, months and tens of thousands of dollars at some points in time. Just thank you. I would love to say thank you for your product. Thank you for your service. Thank you for connecting us with the best possible lawyers and helping us move forward with our relationship.